All right, good morning. It's Councillor Glen. It is Saturday, February 4th. It's dangerously cold outside, so today's update comes to you from my ward office here at CARDELREC. Now, I just got off the phone with Ottawa Fire about half an hour ago. There was a very tragic fire in Stittsville overnight, one of 3 house fires across Ottawa overnight on one of the coldest nights of the year. In this case, a family in the Timbermere neighborhood on Kittiwake Drive, they've lost their home due to a fire. Husband and wife, they were able to get out of the home, and they're now at a neighbor's house, thankfully. And firefighters also rescued a frog and a lizard from the home, but the home is completely destroyed. Firefighters were able to save the homes on either side, thankfully, but I mean, a really tragic situation for this family on Kittiwake. I want to say a big thank you to firefighters at Station 46 and 81 who were among the first on the scene, and just because of the dangerous cold and the difficult situations that makes for firefighters, they brought in firefighters from other stations as well. So thank you to all the first responders, including paramedics who were on scene as well, helping in the extreme cold with the family that unfortunately has lost their home. And speaking with Ottawa Fire, they wanted me to pass on a reminder. Now, we don't know anything about the cause of this fire. We don't know how it started. That's still under investigation. In fact, firefighters are still on the scene now. But a good reminder to take some time today to check your smoke alarm. Make sure your smoke alarm is functioning properly, and look into a monitored fire alarm as well, which is this would be connected to a security company, and the moment that there's an alarm, the fire department is dispatched. So that can be a good idea, and a few seconds, a few minutes can make a big difference in response. Okay, so let's move on. It is dangerously cold out there. That's why I'm inside today. It was minus 29 on my dashboard of my vehicle when I got in this morning. That's incredibly cold. If you know someone or encounter someone who you think is in distress due to the cold, if they're in immediate danger and need a paramedic or medical assistance, call 911. If you think they may need a wellness check, you can call 311 and they can be connected with services. There's information on the Ottawa Public Health website. They've got a map of warming centers across the city of Ottawa, basically places where you can go if you need to warm up, so that can be a really useful resource as well. Ottawa Public Health also has some information about what to look for frostbite, because when you get down to below minus 20, your skin can freeze in a matter of minutes, and it can be a very dangerous situation. So make sure you're aware and have a look at that today. I'd like to wish everyone a very happy Black History Month, and encourage everyone to take some time to learn about the events and activities happening across the city to celebrate Black History Month. There's some concerts, lectures, all sorts of activities happening, arts. A great organization in Ottawa that does a lot of organizing of these events. It's blackhistoryottawa.org, blackhistoryottawa.org. There's also events happening at various branches around the Ottawa Public Library, and a number of other organizations are organizing events as well. So please take a moment to look at that and maybe find something of interest to you, and celebrating and learning about Black history in the month of February. Everybody this week is talking about the snow. We now have over 205 centimeters of snow, and I heard on the forecast that there could be more snow coming this weekend. This is an incredible amount of snow. Put it in perspective, we have more snow now than we did in the entire winter last year, and I can't think of another time in the last 4 years when we've had this much snow at once. Those snowbanks are getting taller and taller. Roads are getting narrower. Now, crews are out there every day clearing snow away. They come in with big blower trucks and a row of dump trucks. Actually, I was going to go do my video today at the Westbrook Snow Dump. It's one of the locations where they bring snow, and there's just a massive mountain of snow right now. Maybe I'll go there next week. Please be patient. There are a lot of streets that are narrow in our community and across Ottawa, and there are streets being done every single day. They have dozens and dozens of trucks and dozens, if not hundreds, of crew members, and they're solely focused overnight in the daytime, 24 hours a day, of removing snow from streets, and they'll keep doing that until it's done. Now, we have been posting the schedules as we receive them to my Facebook page. They aren't always able to complete the routes as planned. There's different factors that may come into play, and we don't know in advance when tomorrow or the next day's routes will be. So I know we've had a lot of questions about that. We are aware of the streets, and we have shared that information, especially around school areas, with city staff. You can also make a report to 311 if you see a dangerous situation. They will be there soon, and they're working 24/7. The only thing that stops them is another snowplow, because the same crews and equipment goes out to clear roads. But they had a good chance to start to get catch up this week, and they'll continue into next week as well. Now, a reminder: be patient. That's number one. Fire hydrants. If you can, if you've got a fire hydrant in front of your home or nearby in your street, shovel it out, and the goal is to leave 1.5 meters all around it. Now, I know some of that snow is pretty tight and packed, and maybe there are people in the neighborhood who aren't able to physically do that. If that's the case, you can call 311 and request that a staff person from city staff come out to clear that for you. But if you can, be a hydrant hero, that's what they say, and pick a hydrant or two in your neighborhood and help keep that clear of snow. The other one is just around parking. The streets are narrower. If you have to park on the street, and I know there's reasons people need to do that sometimes, just make sure you are leaving enough space for a large vehicle like a school bus to get by, and that you're not blocking anyone's driveway or ability to get out. You could consider talking to a neighbor, perhaps, who's got extra space in their driveway, and seeing if you could park there. We have some park and rides in Ottawa where sometimes you can park for short term as well. So maybe if you've got family visiting, instead of parking on the road, maybe consider finding an alternate location. And a big reminder, it's related to snow, but just in general, around school parking. I know there's a lot of parents who drive their kids to school, and just reminding people to please follow the rules on the signs that are posted around the school, the no parking and the no stopping. They're not there to be a nuisance, they're there for the safety of kids. So we appreciate your cooperation to follow the posted no stopping and no parking signs. Ottawa bylaw does go out, and they go out every week in our community and others, and they do blitzes of the parking enforcement around schools, so be aware of that as well. And with the extreme cold, if you know someone, perhaps a senior, an older adult, or someone who may not be able to handle the cold, they may have errands to run, going to the pharmacy, going for groceries. This would be a day where probably a lot of people do not or cannot go out. So maybe if you've got a neighbor who needs assistance, go and knock on their door and see if you can help run an errand for them so they don't have to go out into this extreme cold. And the forecast looks good for tomorrow. So hopefully by tomorrow it'll be up above zero and we'll be out of the worst of this. Quickly at City Hall this week is another busy week. We had a Board of Health meeting on Monday night. We presented received a draft Ottawa Public Health budget for 2023, but also got a report on the family doctor situation. So Ottawa Public Health has analyzed some data, and they have pre-pandemic data. So this is going back to 2020, where they believe 100 to 150,000 people in Ottawa were without a family doctor pre-pandemic. And we know during the pandemic, there were a number of family doctors and primary care providers who retired or reduced their hours for various reasons. And so it's quite likely that number is even higher now. And there's some populations who are disproportionately worse off when it comes to access to primary care. These would be lower income individuals. These would be racialized communities. These would be newcomers to Canada. And so their difficulty in finding a doctor is more acute. And I believe I heard a report on the radio yesterday that there are potentially 2 million people in Ontario without access to primary care. When you think about the impact that has all over the system, on hospital emergency rooms, on ability to get kids vaccinated, it's a really serious problem. And looking forward to being on Monday, I'm involved in a roundtable discussion that Mayor Sutcliffe has organized to talk about the family doctor shortage. There's a number of local medical officials and experts who will be a part of that, and looking for solutions that we can move forward on. It's really not as simple as some people have suggested as just paying a bonus to doctors who locate here. It's a lot more complicated than that. In fact, under Ontario law, I don't even think we're allowed to do that as the City of Ottawa. But anyhow, I'll have more on this next week. It's a topic really important to me, and I hear about it a lot from the community, the lack of family doctors. Also at council voted, I believe it was 19-6 to approve the Zero Emission Bus pilot program. I've shared some information about that on my website, glengower.ca. Bit of background information about what this procurement is and how well the buses are running, and some information about the batteries and so on too. So check that out if you're interested. We also tabled the draft budget for 2023, and through the month of February, all of our committees will be meeting and discussing and debating the budget, culminating in a final vote on March 1st. On February 13th, I'm hosting a Q&A for Stittsville residents about the budget. So we're going to have someone from the city's finance department walk us through what the budget is and how it works and so on. But we're also looking for your feedback on what's important to you in terms of city investments and priorities. So go to my website, glengower.ca. You'll see midway down the page a link to the Budget 2023 Q&A, so you can register to participate, and would love to see you there. Now, next week at City Hall, we have a transit budget debate coming up on Thursday. That'll be busy. Also at Transit Commission, we're going to get a report on what happened with that train that went down in the freezing rain, the interruption to service at the beginning of January. So we'll have a full report on what happened and any changes that need to be made as a result of that. So it'll be a busy Transit Commission that I'm chairing on Thursday. Locally, let's go locally, shall we? Carp corridor. Not sure how many people realize this, but in the 2022 election, once the term started, the ward boundaries for Stittsville changed. We got a little bit bigger geographically in Stittsville, including, I'm just looking at a map here, going a little bit north on Carp Road. So now Stittsville includes part of what's called the Carp Road Corridor Business Improvement Area. And so as a result, I'm now on the board. Had a great meeting with some of the leadership on the Carp Road Corridor BIA to talk about economic development and what kind of support they need from the city in order to foster a stronger business community, attract more businesses, and anyhow, looking forward to working with them over the next 4 years. Vacant unit tax update, good news. 76% of property owners have made their declaration online. That's 246,000 declarations made at ottawa.ca. You have until March 16th to do this. Every property owner in the city of Ottawa of a residential property needs to do this, so please take some time. If you're one of the 24% who have yet to do it, please do, and thanks to everyone who's done it so far. Point you to, talking about economic development, engage.ottawa.ca has a survey for local business owners about economic development in the city of Ottawa. So if you're in that category, please check that out. Congratulations to Stittsville's Crystal Hawkins, who on Monday evening received a Community Police Award. Last year she assisted in finding a missing child, helping a missing child. So thank you and congratulations, Crystal. A heads up, if you live in the Westwood neighborhood or perhaps in Blackstone, you'll feel it too. There's going to be blasting starting soon at 585 Bobolink. This is at Bobolink and Robert Grant. It's going to last approximately 3 months, but usually these things last for longer than the builder says they will. There'll be up to 8 blasts per day. If you live very close by, you will have received a letter already about a pre-inspection. Please do the pre-inspection. It protects you in the event of damage. And if you are hearing blasts close by, that's likely what it is. We have an information page on my website, glengower.ca/blasting, with all sorts of information, including a contact number if you have any questions or concerns. Coming up, February 20th, we're doing a free Family Day skate at CARDELREC. You do have to register because spaces are limited and they are filling up fast. Again, go to my website, glengower.ca, for more information. February 9th, the Stittsville Business Association is holding a winter social, and they're doing it outside. Well, outside and a little bit inside at the barn and at Ritual, but it's at Village Square Park, February 9th, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. There'll be hot chocolate, there'll be skating. Ritual will be open as well. It's just a kind of a social for local businesses, local business owners. So check that out if you're interested. More information on their Facebook page and web page. And 2 reminders, courtesy reminders in the community. If you are using one of our local rinks, please make sure you take your garbage home with you or put it in a garbage bin. We've had a lot of garbage being left behind, unfortunately. And the other reminder is for dog owners, a very small number, but some dog owners in our community seem to think that you don't have to pick up after your pets in the winter. You definitely do. And there's a number of spots where it's pretty disgusting out there. So go to the pet store. Invest in some of those little dog bags. They cost like $5. You can get a few hundred of them. Bring them with you when you're walking your dog and pick up after your pet. And make sure you put those, you can put them in the garbage at the park, but even better, drop them in your green bin at home, and that'll keep them out of the landfill. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for tuning in today. And I'm really thinking today about the family over on Kittiwake and that fire. And if we hear anything about a community fundraiser or anything they need, I'll pass that on through our website and email newsletter and Facebook as well. So it's really cold. I'm not going to ask you to go out and explore the neighborhood today. Maybe tomorrow on Sunday would be a better idea. I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you next Saturday. Take care.